recorded. There you go. I think you've received the notification, and you'll be receiving the links to this information session after this call. All participants, let's remain on mute to avoid background noise. And if you have any questions to our speakers today, feel free to type them in the chat box below your screen. And this session will run for about 60 minutes. So without further ado, I'm happy to introduce our resource speakers for today's session, starting with Mr. Yong Lim. He is the Regional Manager for Southeast and Central Asia of Kaplan Business School. Hello, Yong. And also later joining us is our guest student, a very busy student. Her name is Angelique Gilo, and she'll be sharing some of her real-life experiences as an international student in Sydney, Australia, particularly as a student of Kaplan Business School as well. So without further ado, I'm happy to hand over the screen to our first speaker, Mr. Yong Lim. Hi, Yong. How's
Hey,
Sydney?
good. Thanks, Mo, for the introduction. Let me just quickly share my screen right now. Make sure I do this right. There we go. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for inviting us today, BADA Philippines. Yeah, thank you for organizing this event. Like Monette mentioned, my name is Yong and I'm based here in Sydney, Australia. And I'm the regional manager for Southeast Asia for Kaplan Business School. So for the next 20 minutes, I'll just quickly go through who we are, what we do, and hopefully pique a little bit of your interest to come study with us in Australia. All right. Obviously, write down any questions that you have. Really happy to answer any questions or any queries that you have at the end of the presentation. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So with Kaplan Business School, we always like to introduce ourselves first and foremost as a global network of institutions. Yeah, that means that yes, we are here today to talk about study in Australia, but Kaplan is actually a global brand. We actually have 400 different locations in 30 different countries, and every year we actually graduate close to 1 million students. All right, so this gives, I guess, students that come study with us the reassurance, right, that you're coming to an institution that is reputable and globally recognized. Yeah, and the qualification that you get will also be internationally recognized. All right. So next we'll talk a little bit about the Kaplan Business School advantage, the KBS advantage. Yeah, what we do well. Yeah. So I'll focus on a few points here, but essentially what we do here at our business school is that we really focus on really providing very high level of student support. All right. 90 to 95% of our students that study with us here are international students. Yeah. And we know that international students coming from a foreign country, a lot of them coming to Australia for their first time, maybe studying in a course that is not in their mother tongue. So we understand that international students need that extra support. All right. So we have a lot of support services in place, which we will talk a little bit later as well. Yeah, focusing on making sure that our students not only do well in the classroom academically, but also explore their career options as well when they study here in Australia. Yeah, as you can see at the bottom right corner here, 1 in 3 students that do our internship program here at Kaplan Business School actually get ongoing paid employment. Yeah, so here at our business school, we really want to focus on, yes, students, you get your good results in class, but also make sure that you have that opportunity to explore your career, get work experience here in Australia, to make sure that when you complete the course, yeah, our course, you are job ready. Yeah, you're employable. Okay. All right. So next we'll look at the different locations that we have at KBS. Yeah. As you can see here, we have 5 different campuses across Australia. Yeah. Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and Perth. Yeah. So Sydney and Melbourne are our 2 biggest campuses, the most popular ones. Yeah. Followed by Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth. But if students prefer sort of a quieter, smaller city, quieter environment to study, Adelaide and Perth are really, really good options. Yeah. I would say in terms of affordability, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth are the more affordable cities to live in, whereas Sydney and Melbourne might be a little bit more higher in the cost of living area. Yeah. It's worth mentioning that all our campuses are located in the city center. Yeah, that means that students can come to campus quite easily through public transport. Yeah, and the other thing is as well is that all the courses that we are going to talk about today are offered at all campuses. Okay, so because all the subjects and courses are the same in each campus, students can actually also switch campus quite easily. Yeah, for example, if you come study with us 2 years in our master's course, you can study 1 year in Sydney and another year in Adelaide if you want to. Yeah, so students do have that option to switch around the campuses after each trimester if they want to. Yeah, not a lot of students do it, but if they want to, they can. All right. Okay, so next is actually our intake date. So when you can start with us every year. Yeah, as you can see there, we have actually only 3 main intake dates. Okay, which is trimester 1, 2, and 3, which is March, July, and November. Each trimester is 4 months in duration. Yeah, and typically in each trimester, students will be doing either 2 or 3 subjects a trimester. Yeah, we also have a September trimester intake. As you can see there, we call it trimesters 2 accelerated. In short, we call it T2X. Yeah, so the accelerated trimester is only 2 months in duration. Yeah, and during this 2 months duration, students will only be doing 1 subject. Yeah, and this trimester only it's for postgraduate students studying in postgraduate courses. Yeah, so the reason we have that accelerated program is that a lot of students that miss July, they don't want to wait until November. So we created a September one for them to jump in the course. And like I said, only 2 months. So they actually graduate or finish the trimester at the same time as the July students. Okay. So throughout every year, students have 4 different intakes for us to join us. All right. All right, so now actually we'll talk a little bit about our student support. Yeah, as you can see from this slide here, we actually just won an award just last year. Yeah, in the Pioneer Awards, which is a global recognition award for international institutions. Yeah, so we actually got the winner for Student Support Award category in recognition of our COVID-19 student welfare plan. Yeah, so throughout the 2 years during the pandemic, we actually spent close to $7 million to have different support systems at our campuses to make sure that students feel supported, whether that's financially or academically. All right. Okay, so instead of listening to me babbling on about the different sort of student supports that we have, I actually have a short 2 to 3 minute video here, and it will go through the different support services that we have, and we'll discuss it later on as well. Okay.
Welcome to Careers Central. We, KBS Careers Advisors, can help you with a range of different career services. We can help optimize your resume. We can assure that you put together and craft a stellar cover letter for you to be competitive and gain attention from future hiring managers. We can help to profile your LinkedIn portfolio for you to stand out and to create that powerful and strong personal brand.
KBS was definitely critical in me securing employment after my bachelor. So throughout my bachelor, the careers advisor mentored me and helped me get 2 internships to build my CV and increase my chances of employment after my bachelor. And when I graduated, she helped me get an unpaid internship at a financial services company. This internship became then a paid position.
As a student experience officer, I'm here to make sure that every student gets a great experience while studying with KBS. They could come to me for any non-academic concerns, like if they have they need to request any forms or if they have any questions regarding their studies. And even if it's about their subjects and they don't know who to approach, I could just direct them to the party responsible for helping them.
The student support staff at KBS are very much helpful They always listen to you, and whenever you are in a problem, they will find you a resolution real quick. So I very much appreciate them, because even I myself had problem in the first trimester. So they solved it, and they made the whole process quite easy.
Welcome to the Academic Success Centre, where we help our students understand general academic skills such as Harvard referencing, paraphrasing, researching, English grammar, and writing and speaking skills. We also help our students understand their assessment requirements and proofread before submission. We provide support through individual 30-minute appointments and group workshops.
Whenever I felt that I was being a little bit disconnected or frustrated about the performance that was happening in the course, in some specific classes, everyone from Kaplan, including the Academic Success Center, the director, everyone who I made contact with, were very helpful and very patient in terms of helping me to pass through this, and also to have a successful outcome.
I've really loved all of my KBS lecturers and updating them with my progress, so it's been wonderful to actually build that ongoing career and professional connection with them and have their respect as a colleague, not just as a student.
Our job with Kaplan is to support students with mental health and well-being. We're here for you if you would like to make a confidential appointment with the counseling team. Sonda is also here for you 24/7. Sonda is a free service provided to all our students. If you would like any after-hour mental health support, Sonda is here for you. Looking forward to working with you during your study journey with Kaplan.
Okay, hopefully that short video, just let me do this. Go to the next slide. Okay, yeah, so hopefully that short video gave you an idea of the different support services that we have at our business school. Yeah, so I think it's worth mentioning that next we'll be talking about our courses, right? But all of our courses have the internship included. Yeah, as you can see, the first student support service that talks about careers. Yeah, so whether students are studying accounting, whether it's a bachelor, whether it's MBA, whether it's business analytics, all our courses have the internship included if students want to do it. All right, that means that we will actually look for an internship opportunity for you in an Australian company based on your interests, and then we can organize the internship for you. And that internship will normally be either 3 or 4 months. Okay. All right. So next we'll actually talk about the different courses that we have. As you can see on this screen here, we teach both undergraduate and postgraduate courses. Yeah. So with undergraduate courses, we have a Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Business Accounting, Bachelor of Business Hospitality and Tourism Management. We have Management Marketing, as well as a 1-year Diploma of Business. All right. With the Bachelor of Business, it takes 3 years for a student to complete. Yeah. So I guess one of the key advantage when students finish high school and come to study with us in the bachelor program is that they can graduate a year sooner, as opposed to, I guess, doing their bachelor's in the Philippines, which is 4 years in duration, right? So you actually graduate a year sooner, and with the Diploma of Business, is a 1-year diploma. After completing that 1-year diploma, students actually can jump into the 2nd year of our bachelor degree, which altogether they can still do a diploma and a degree and complete it within the 3-year duration. Okay. All right. So next is our postgraduate program. Yeah. Most of our students from the Philippines, they are studying postgraduate with us. Yeah. This is by far the most popular sort of area. Yeah. So I will only focus at the courses that are bolded. Yeah, as you can see here, because these are the more popular courses, and most of these courses are 2 years in duration. Because as an international students, a lot of when you're coming to study with us from overseas, most students want to study minimum 2 years duration. so that you will be eligible for the post-study work visa, which allows you to work in Australia for 2 or 3 years after you complete your studies. Okay, I'll start with the first one, which is a postgraduate qualifying program. Okay, this one is a short course. It's only 4 months. Okay, this is like a foundation course for students if students don't meet the direct entry into our master's program. Yeah, because sometimes if a student complete a degree in the Philippines, it's only equivalent to a advanced diploma or diploma here in Australia. Yeah, so we will assess your qualification, and if that's the case, then you will need to go through this program first, called the PQP program. Yeah, and it's only 4 months. It has 5 subjects, and after completing this program, you can jump into our master's course. All right. The second one here is our Masters of Business Analytics Extension. Yeah, this has been a really, really popular course for us since we launched it about 2 years ago. Yeah, so Masters of Business Analytics, just to point out that it's not a hardcore sort of mathematics data science course. Yeah, this is very much not a data analytics course, but a business analytics course. Yeah, that means that in this course, we want to produce a graduate that understands the importance of data. All right, how to collect this data, of course, yeah, but not only that, how to make use of this data to make business decisions. Yeah, so in the program, we'll be teaching students, obviously, with the software, how to collect, like I said, collect useful data ethically, right? But after that, how to also prepare a strategic plan, how to present this data to upper management, how to come up with a marketing plan based on the information that they've gathered. Yeah, so it's a more holistic sort of course, aiming for a student to truly become a business analyst, not only a data analyst. All right. I'll jump to the bottom first with the Masters of Accounting. Yeah. So obviously, any students that are interested to be to go into management of financial accounting, this course will be perfect for you. Yeah, all our accounting courses at KBS are accredited by CPA Australia, CA, and ACCA, and these are the accreditation bodies. Yeah, so if you want to be an accountant here in Australia, you need to be accredited by either one of them. Yeah, so after completing our Masters of Accounting, students will automatically get associate membership with either one of these 3 associations. All right, and the Masters of Accounting is 2 years. Yeah, 16 subjects, so every year students will only complete 8 subjects. Yeah, last but not least, our MBA. Yeah, our Masters of Business Administration. It is our flagship course. Yeah, again, I'll quickly go through a short minute video here, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about our MBA. All right.
The Kaplan Business School MBA is flexible for 3 reasons. First, there's a wide variety of electives to choose from. Second, students can swap from one specialisation to another. And third, they're able to combine face-to-face study with online study. Whilst a general option is, of course, available in the KBS MBA, so too are MBA specialisations that enable students to craft a program that meets their interests and their career aspirations. In the Kaplan Business School MBA, there are only workshops, no lectures and no tutorials. This means that rather than having academics talking non-stop, our MBA instead comprises workshops that are full of activities, discussions, case studies, games, and interactive experiences. Much like on-campus students, our online students too can attend a weekly online workshop held live that replicates the discussions and activities that occur in the face-to-face version. These workshops are recorded and posted on the online portal, where they can be accessed not only by those studying online, but also by those enrolled on campus.
Okay, all right. So hopefully that, again, short video explain a little bit about how unique our MBA is. Yeah. So these are just some of the details of our MBA. As you can see here, 2 years in duration. Like I said, most students want to study at least 2 years to get post-study work visa, but it's only 12 subjects. Yeah. So if you think about it, every year, students will only be completing 6 subjects in the entire year. All right. So that means that each trimester in the MBA, students will only be doing 2 subjects. Yeah. So as an international student coming to Australia to study, doing 2 subjects as a full-time student, you do and you will have actually quite a lot of time besides focusing on your studies to explore the different opportunities that you have here in Australia, such as work and the different careers, right? Yeah. So like in the video, it explained that in our MBA, we have different specializations. Yeah. So instead of just completing a generic Masters of Business Administration, students can choose either 1 or 2 specializations from these 8 here on the screen. Yeah. We have project management, we have health services management, tourism and hospitality leadership, digital management, data-driven leadership, entrepreneurship, international leadership, and women in leadership. Yeah. So out of these 8 specializations, like I said, even if you students pick 2 specializations, the duration is still the same. Yeah, you still complete the MBA in 2 years. The course, price, everything still remains the same. Yeah. So some students like to mix and match to have 2 specializations. Some students will still stick with the 1 specialization or no specialization if you want to. All right. Since having specializations, we actually really attract students from a lot of different academic and work background, as you would imagine, right? For example, health services management is highly popular from the Philippines because a lot of students have that health background, right? Some students, let's say you've been a nurse for the last 5 to 6 years and you want to go into more health services management area, this course will be perfect because in the MBA, we'll be teaching you about management, we'll be teaching you about leadership, we'll be teaching you about strategic thinking. Yeah. And at the same time, you can still focus on health services area, which will be highly useful after you graduate and related to what you've done before. Yeah. Project management, for example, we get a lot of students from the IT or engineering background coming into project management MBA because a lot of the nature of their work are project-based work. Yeah. So these are just some of the few examples. Women in leadership, for example, is perfect for young women these days that want to navigate through maybe male-dominant industries, or any students that are interested in a HR career. Yeah. So all these 8 different specializations, obviously, yeah, will have different advantages. And like I said, students can craft and design an MBA to suit their needs, to suit their career needs in the future. All right. Okay, so that's it for our courses. So next we'll quickly go through the entry requirements, both for English and academically, to get into our courses. I'll go through this pretty quickly, yeah? So with the undergraduate, which means our bachelor and diploma courses, students need to have completed your high school back in the Philippines, yeah? And the IELTS or English requirement would be a 5.5 for the diploma and a 6.0 for the bachelor degree, yeah? As for postgraduate, students need to have completed your bachelor degree back home in the Philippines, and the entry requirement is a 6.0 IELTS equivalent. Okay, and for the PQP postgraduate qualifying program, the IELTS requirement is 5.5, and like I said, you would have need to completed a bachelor degree back home in the Philippines or have extensive work experience if you haven't done so. Okay. When I say IELTS 6 or IELTS 5.5 equivalent, doesn't mean that we only take the IELTS test only. Yeah, we also take other forms of tests. For example, the Pearson's test, TOEFL, and other Duolingo, for example, other forms of English tests. In addition to that, we also have our own English placement test called a KITE test, KITE. Yeah. So if students don't plan to sit for any of these official English language tests, we can also give you our KITE test. It's a free test. Yeah. And you do it online. And if you pass the KITE test, we can also take that as fulfilling the English entry requirement into our courses. All right. Last but not least, I think probably the most interesting part for a lot of you is about our scholarships that we have. Yeah. So as you can see here, we do have quite a few scholarships for our international students. Yeah. The first one at the top, actually the first two are I guess the most popular 2 scholarships. Yeah. A 10% Asia scholarship and a 30% high achiever scholarship. All right. How you get these scholarships is based on your academic results in your previous studies. Yeah, right. If you've done really well, yeah, you have a really high, about 90% average in your previous studies, then we can grant you a high achiever scholarship, which is 30% of the entire course. If your scores previously was about average, then about a 65% average, yeah, then we can give you a 10% Asia scholarship for your entire course. All right. We also have an alumni scholarship. That means that if you studied in any of our other Kaplan courses or other business, other Kaplan institutions around the globe before, when you come study with us, we can automatically grant you a 30% alumni scholarship. All right. The fourth one here has also really been popular with a lot of our Filipino students. Yeah, it's our Frontline Healthcare Leadership Scholarship. This scholarship is worth 30%. Yeah, and it's for students that are applying for our MBA in Health Services Management and can prove that they've been working as a frontline healthcare worker since the COVID pandemic happened. All right. So if students that are working as a pharmacist, as a nurse, obviously, as a, like if you've been helping in the healthcare as a frontline, any occupation as a frontliner, yeah, we can grant you a 30% scholarship. So this is a scholarship that we created to show our appreciation to all the frontliners out there that work and risk their lives basically during the pandemic. Okay. The fifth one here is our PQP, our postgraduate qualifying program. Yeah, so you'll be glad to know that we are actually offering a 50% scholarship for this year for this particular course. Yeah, so if you need to do PQP before starting your master's course, we can actually give you provide this course at a 50% scholarship. Yeah. Last but not least, as you can see here, we are also offering 10 weeks of free English course. Yeah, EAP means English for academic purposes for any students that need to improve their English before starting their MBA course or bachelor course with us. Yeah. So for example, if your English test results didn't meet our direct entry, you can actually come to study English with us first. We have Kaplan English here in Australia. Yeah. So if you are packaging, that means you're studying English and then you're coming to do a business course with us, we can offer 10 weeks of free English. All right. So that also helps our students sort of build up their English skills and make sure they are more confident before starting their business course with us. All right. Okay, I think that's all from me. Yeah, hopefully that wasn't too long. And I think I'll pass the time back to you, Mo.
Thank you, Yong, for that presentation. I hope everyone was able to gather the information about the courses, especially the MBAs offered by Kaplan Business School. And I think it would be more meaningful now if we learn more about what's really going to happen if you start studying at Kaplan and if you're already a student in Australia. So we've also invited our guest student, Angelique Gilo, to talk about her life experience and share some of her wonderful learnings at Kaplan Business School. Hi, Angel.
Hello everyone.
Welcome to this session and thank you for also spending your precious time. I know you've been very busy, just like Yom. So I'll just pull up your presentation so you could start.
Oh, thank you, Mo.
I think, all right, is it up?
Oh, yeah.
All right, there you go.
Okay, so hi everyone. Oh, thank you again for inviting me for today, for sharing my experience as international student. So I made this as like a personal, including about my experience in Kaplan, studying in Kaplan, and also as international student here in Australia. So next will be it's my Kaplan journey. So in my Kaplan journey, I'm as ako ay isang MBA student. So I'm taking health services management, and I was lucky to have to applied for the scholarship for the health worker, which is given by Kaplan and like opportunity for us. And I'm grateful for that. I said it really helps a lot for the expenses also as international student. And the good thing about Kaplan too, it's exciting, like the school, because they offer, especially during pandemic time, about online classes. And at the moment, I think we're going to transition to campus. It's already open. Maganda din talaga to be in campus for doing, like, because you're meeting people. But it's also exciting, like when you're doing online, because you can see also the faces, because we usually our teacher will advise us to turn on the camera, because at least different places, like from Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, like Sydney, which is really great kasi parang malalayo pero nakikita mo sila. So challenging, it's challenging because it's different, like back in the Philippines, and that it's like different how they present the studies. So it's like workshop. So there will be discussions like what was explained in previous like videos. There will be discussion, and then during discussion there will be a certain work activity as a group or as the whole class to participate, and which is really good. And it's also like assessments, and sometimes like there will be tests as well. So online class, like, yeah, challenges, it will be to keep yourself awake sa 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 class, and also like to have a good environment where you can have your online class, good internet, something like that. So variety of student assistance and activities, which is like what Yong was mentioned before. Kaplan is really doing well with that, I assure you, because like the academic success services that they have, they really approach student. They will email you for your due date, reminding you about that. And also, kung sila more on, ang dami nilang activities online. They have like activities like different in a calendar. You can schedule ahead of time, which is really good for Kaplan. They really approach like they really try to reach student. What's the best, how they can accommodate them. So which is really good with Kaplan. Then next slide, Miss Mo. Thank you. So my life here in Australia. So currently I'm working in aged care and disability organization. It's luckily because still a student currently. If you're working in healthcare industry, you're still in full-time rights. So kapag kasi kung hindi, or international student ka, and it's not related to healthcare or certain, I think the government announced certain work area na pwede full-time, it will be like before it's 20 hours per week international student, which is also good, like manageable naman. And then for me, I am having 2 days of online classes. So I have 2 subjects. So that subject will just run for 3 hours. And the rest of the day, it's my time to manage, like for my assessment or go for work. Or like usually I'm doing night shift for I'm working in aged care. And then it's really emphasized like the importance of life and work balance. Kasi because like as international student, you need to work, you need to go to online classes, like you need to balance, and at the same time you need to have also treat yourself with all your achievements, or like the whole week, because sometimes it get busy. So next will be So expenses as international student, these are based on my experience. So every time I have my example, dumating na ang sweldo, I need to really save for my tuition fee. So tuition fee depends on your like anong course nyo. So for me, since I was given the opportunity to have the scholarship for healthcare, so I have like around three or almost 4,000 every term I'm paying for that. So yeah, manageable naman as long as you just work and save. So weekly rent fee. So weekly rent fee range from, because it's weekly here, it depends kung sino ang tenant nyo. So usually it range from 100 like 180 to 300. It depends also kung kan shared or something that luckily I have my own room, which is really good. And still, if you work well, you can manage really to pay for your rent as well. So food and drinks, yeah, of course, expenses, transportation, fare, because you're going to travel from example for work or for school. So luckily at the moment I was like the online classes, it helped me to save a bit for my transportation. Then treat yourself money. So because sometimes I'm getting busy with my school and school and work, so I get overwhelmed. So sometimes I really need to treat myself for at least like a tap for myself, like you can do this. So just have something for me to be happy. And then emergency funds, which is really important, especially like when COVID hits. As international students, sometimes like your ship will be less, something based on my experience before, but hopefully now since it's getting better, so yeah, at least emergency funds is really necessary, or like it's really helpful for international. So and even like I think other people. Yep. And now, so this is just my experience, like meeting with other people, like diversity of culture. Like in Australia, you will explore a lot of things, like meeting friends, and especially like when I came here, like I don't have like relatives and I have no specific friends. So this is my first international travel, and yeah, without my parents or relatives at all. So yeah. And yeah, just a quick challenges like international student would be like sometimes like time management, work location travels, assessment due dates, workplace or internship, homesick, budgeting. So all of this is like really like you're going to experience, but as long as like example like Kaplan is really doing well for assisting student, if you need their help, you just need to email them. Napaka-approachable nila. And lastly, how I combat self-doubts. So accepting the right that there will always be a struggle, but never give up. That's really important. Then you never give up because every day there will be challenges. Prayers for me, social media, because again, what I mentioned a while ago that no, I don't have relatives here or friends when I came here. So I usually just have video call, which is really helpful. Meditation, have your happy foods and drinks. So I love that one. The idea of happy foods. So I think yan yung comfort ko. Self-love and self-awareness. Enjoy the process. That's really important. And welcome opportunities. It's okay that you get scared, like if merong ibibigay sa inyong mga opportunity or like mga available or like things na pwede nyo explore, it's okay, because if something that you don't have experience at all, just learn from it. You will develop your skills as long as you have the right attitude. And I think that's it for me as international student experience. Thank you.
All right, that's very charming, Angel, for your presentation. Let me just add Young to the screen as well. So actually, yeah, so that ends the presentation of two of our speakers, and I'm now moving forward to our open forum or to our Q&A. Thank you very much, Angel, for your very real life presentation. I think it was very relevant. You know, there were some things that might not have been thought about by our participants today, because usually what they think about first is, of course, their program or the tuition. So I think those are good insights. And also Young for sharing about Kaplan Business School. And for our participants today, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box now so we could address them. If you're feeling shy, you can send it directly to me. But I already received some questions, Young, via email prior to this session, actually. So let me start with that. I'm not going to be able to type it, so I'll just read it. So this is for you, Yong. One of the registrants is about, I guess, in his mid 30s, nearing 40s. And he's wondering if he'd still be able to apply for a program at Kaplan Business School.
Well, yeah. Thanks, Mo, for that question. The short answer is yes. For example, I think the past few months we have had quite a few students, late 30s, early 40s, 41, 42, up to 45 years old, that still apply to study with us for postgraduate courses, obviously. The short answer is yes, but the most important is the getting your visa, right? So obviously there's no age limit for our courses. Yeah, but part of coming to study in Australia is first obviously applying for the school that you want, and secondly getting a visa, a successful visa to come here to study. So the age thing normally is when maybe there's a hurdle with the visa, but as long as students have a very, very strong statement of purpose, that means that you can explain why you want to come and study in Australia, spending the next 2 to 3 years and spending quite a huge sum of money. Yeah. Explaining what are your career aspects when you graduate, why did you choose the particular course, why didn't you choose another course back in the home country. If you explain that well in your statement of purpose, we can definitely still accept it, still accept your application. And for the visa success, we also see that immigration will still accept those. Yeah. So so if you're sort of close to 40s, that doesn't really matter as long as you have a very strong statement of purpose. Yeah. And when you apply, you put in your application through BADA Philippines, they are also very experienced agent in terms of helping you write your statement of purpose. And with our forms, we also have different questions that once you address those quite strongly, then it shouldn't be a big issue. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Young, for clarifying that. So I think it was Renji. He actually sent a message. Thank you for sending your question, Renji. So does age matter? I think there is some criteria there is some impact on the application, but just like what Young mentioned, if you're nearing your 40s, it would still be possible, but it would always depend on the qualification of the candidate. So my suggestion, speak to BADA Philippines, that's us. And let's also have this conversation to fully understand your profile and how we could assist you with your application. All right. Next question is, I think this is still for Young. What is the difference between Masters in Accounting and Masters in Professional Accounting?
Okay. All right. So actually the short answer, I'll give you the short answer, is duration. Okay. So we have a Masters of Accounting, which is 2 years in duration. We have a Masters of Professional Accounting, which is only 1 year and 8 months. Okay. I'm not going to lie, both of the qualification, you will get the same accreditation. Right. So even if you complete the shorter course, which is obviously shorter and a little bit cheaper because it has less subjects, you will still get the same accreditation from CPA, CA, and ACCA. But most students, I would say 95% of students still apply for the Masters of Accounting The reason being, it's a 2-year course duration. Yeah. If you only study 1 year and 8 months, you don't get the post-study work visa. All right. If you study 2 years, you will get, students have the opportunity to apply for the post-study work visa, which allows you to work in Australia either 2 or 3 years after you graduate. So that is normally very, very important for a lot of international students. All right. That doesn't mean that it's only the only difference is that, right? Duration, obviously. But in the Masters of Accounting, we've added more subjects to make it 2 years. But in those subjects, those additional subjects are mostly additional business analytics subjects, which is really, really helpful for future accountants as well. Yeah, because the accounting world is currently going through a shift. Yeah, accountants in the past, they just do your taxes, they do your audit, and that's it. They deal with historical data. But we have received, obviously, feedback in the industry and the way the accounting industry is hiring nowadays. They not only want accountants that deal with historical information and data, they also want graduates that understand how to analyze this historical and historical data and how to use it for the company's advantage for future activities. Yeah. So the additional subjects in the Masters of Accounting are mostly, like I said, business analytics subjects, which will be really, really useful for future prospects jobs as well within the accounting industry.
Wow, that's a lot, a lot of information. Thank you, Yong, for sharing that. Reggie, my suggestion is have a look also at the website of Kaplan Business School. See those subjects that are going to be taken under these 2 programs respectively. If you have other questions, do let us know. We're happy to coordinate also with Yong if he could assist you further if you have other questions regarding the program. And yes, you're also invited to a free consultation with us so that we could help you with your application. So next question is for Angel. Angel, can you give us an idea regarding the workshops, or are there exams in your course? Are they difficult?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, regarding that, the workshop that they have, like we have like discussion, like it's a PowerPoint discussion, and in between those discussion there will be like workshop, like it will be like an activities, but it will be, since I'm doing online, so we are divided into rooms, and in that rooms you will going to have like interact with different people, students too. So you probably will have like, what is this the topic about, and then you'll share together, and then your teacher will ask you like, someone will present it to the whole group when we go back to our in the whole class. So regarding that, usually like based on my experience, I will have like 3 assessments, and there will be like, it will be posted like really advanced. Like if you started the course, you will already able to check the assessment when it will be due, and also the guidelines. These guidelines are like specific, and there will be like, what good thing about Kaplan is that there will be a advisor coordinator. So usually the advisor coordinator will set up a Zoom meeting to explain further regarding how to achieve more like HD scores. And yeah, but there's also like exams, but not all course subject. It depends of the subject. I think I just currently as a student, I just had like 1 exam experience with my finance subject, but most of the subject that I got from health services management, it's like assessments like online Zoom meeting, presentations, and yeah, case management, things like that, because it's managerial level. But yeah,
your course. Okay.
Yeah, the course
seems fair, and I think there's a lot of practical component.
Yeah, it's really realistic. It's really realistic, the scenarios that they're presenting.
But I think that's good because you're already experiencing almost what you will experience when you do the real work, right?
Yes,
Which is more important. Thank you,
that's
Angel.
you're welcome.
Um, there's another question. Maybe you can answer this. Someone is interested in she's a high school graduate and also a vocational graduate here in the Philippines, and interested in taking a program at KBS. And she's also a frontliner.
Okay.
With this
Uh,
kind of qualification, would she be able to apply for a program?
yeah. So, I think I guess to accurately answer the question, we'll need to look at your entire sort of profile. You said you're a frontliner, so obviously you have that work experience before. It depends on how long have you been working, and with your vocational qualification, we can also try to match it with Australian qualification, right? But if you've only completed vocational, most likely we will advise you to take our postgraduate qualifying program
PQP.
first. Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you remember in the presentation, the 4 month course is just a
Right.
short 1 trimester course. Yeah. So that is like a foundation course. If students don't meet the direct entry into the masters. Yeah. So as a frontliner, if you want to do our MBA in health services management like Angel, yeah. So this might be the stepping stone for you to do a PQP, which is 4 months, and then the MBA in health services management, which is 2 years. So in addition, in total, it will be 2 years and 4 months. So 4 months additional to a regular MBA student. Yeah. But obviously that 4 months you'll be studying the PQP, which will give you the different study skills to make sure that you succeed when you eventually go and do your MBA in health services management. Yeah. So by end of the day, yeah, like I said, to accurately sort of to answer that question, obviously talk to BADA Philippines. We will get your resume, we will get your qualification, and like I said, we will match it to our Australian qualification, and then we will see how long your work experience were, and then advise you the best course or program to apply for. But like I said, most likely you will need to start with PQP and then go on to our master's course.
Thanks, Yong. And to add
No
to
problem.
that, so that I believe that's Eva Marie. Hi, Eva. So yes, my suggestion is also speak with us. We'll help you with your application, see what we can do. But most likely, if that's the case, the PQP would be the very first stage of your studies at Kaplan Business School, which is not very long, just four,
Yeah.
4 months.
Just 4 months. And look, we are offering that course now at a 50% scholarship. So yeah, it's quite a generous saving there to get 50% for the PQP course at least. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Somebody is asking about the scholarship. Actually, are there slots for full scholarship?
Unfortunately, at this stage, we don't. Yeah. Our like as you can see for the presentation, the highest scholarship that we have is at 30% right now. Yeah. We do have what we call a Dean's Award scholarship for students that are already studying with us. That is a 50% scholarship, but that one you need to apply after you start study with us. And if you have very high and very good academic achievements, then you can be considered for that particular scholarship. Yeah. But as a new student, yeah, the highest scholarship that we have now is at 30%.
Great, which is still a very generous offer. And to begin with, Kaplan Business School is actually offering a very what is this, cost efficient tuition, very convenient for the students as well. Not to mention, I think Angel shared earlier that she can work with full rights. So if I may just share, at the moment, Australia is actually allowing international students to work without restriction to the work hours. But initially or originally, international students are only allowed to work for 20 hours per week or 40 hours every 2 weeks. So right now, that's not going to be the limit, which is quite an advantage for those incoming international students this year. So I hope you could also take that advantage. But of course, your priority is still to study in Australia. All right. So if you do have other questions, send me an email. I'll try to make sure that we answer them. And I'll reply to that. Don't worry. Just give me until Monday or Tuesday next week. All right. But I will just wait for your email. Those who wish to have a one-on-one consultation with us, feel free to contact us. In fact, I will be sending you an invite after this event, which you may be receiving on Monday as well. So please watch out for that, and I'll make sure that we are able to accommodate you for this free consultation that I'm mentioning right now. So we have to wrap up, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Yong, and thank you, Angelique, for spending your time with us. It's already late afternoon in Sydney. And to everyone who, hold on, let me just share my screen very quickly. To everyone in the call for spending your Saturday with us. And I know everyone's been busy now that it's less strict to go outdoors, but I hope we still keep ourselves healthy and maintain, the necessary safety protocols that we have to apply. Create your success with Kaplan Business School Australia. Please visit their website, www.kbs.edu.au, and feel free to reach out to BADA Education Philippines, that is us, your choice of education assistance in Australia. Our contact information is flashed on the screen. Feel free to take a screenshot, like our Facebook page at BADA Philippines, and we look forward to meeting you very soon digitally for now. If you wish to meet us face to face, we have our office in Makati. So we are happy to arrange a face-to-face meeting with you, and you may meet us tomorrow if you're hanging out in Mega Mall. We'll be there from 10 a.m. onwards. Visit the Taste of Australia. So this is the celebration for the Philippines and the Australia Friendship Festival. So it's for free, open to the public, and I hope you could say hi to everyone there. So that's it for today. I'm going to wrap this up, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Have a lovely weekend.
Thanks,
Bye.
Mo. Thanks,
Thank
Angelique.
you. Thank you, Yong and Mo.
See ya.